here.
Karl Truman joins us, and you can dial 276-2118 right now with your live questions for Karl Truman. And you know, it's a good thing that you have the Colonel in your advertising, because your military background, Karl, has played such an important role in your life, and most recently, this fantastic opportunity for World War II veterans to fly to D.C. and see the beautiful World War II memorial, which is such a great pleasure. They have what's called Honor Flight, and you were a big part of that this past weekend. Would you tell us a little bit about Honor Flight?
Well, I got invited to participate in a homecoming with it's called the Patriot Guard Riders. That you know, they do a lot of welcoming. They actually they go to funerals. You know, we've heard of funerals where there's like demonstrations going on, and they try to present a buffer. And so they do a wonderful job. You know, they get a lot of need a lot of credit for trying to preserve the dignity of funerals for soldiers.
Yeah.
But they invited me to come Saturday night. There was a welcoming home. The Honor Flight takes World War II veterans to Washington, D.C. to see the World War II memorial there. And so we got to welcome them home with some flags, and there were several color guards, a VFW color guard and Sons of the American Revolution, and a bunch of groups there that all deserve a lot of credit for welcoming home truly the greatest generation. My father was a World War II veteran. He was a merchant marine on a Liberty ship, and I was always very, very proud of that. And
my mother was a World War II naval veteran, and she's gone on the Honor Flight. My uncle also. And it is, Karl, a great opportunity to show our respect and our gratitude for this generation of Americans that is passing away so quickly. We're losing thousands of World War II veterans every day.
Very true.
Yeah, it's amazing to think about what they went through. And yeah, even you know, my father grew up in the Depression, and and then you know, when you know, the Pearl Harbor attack came and went into he was on a Liberty ship in the Mediterranean, and they went through a lot.
Pretty amazing. And then we're not even talking about Karl's military service, but you've done an extensive amount yourself, and you are also working a lot with veterans right now for disability claims. Big help to them, Karl.
Yes, I am. In order to represent a veteran before the Veterans Administration, you have to become accredited. And so I've gone through the process and have become accredited now, and that is a practice area that I'm launching to help veterans with their VA disability claims.
And that is a nightmare. Let me just tell you, from experiencing it with my family, with other friends' families, wading through the Veterans Administration is worse than parting the air of humidity as you walk out.
Lots of paperwork, lots of guidelines, that kind of thing, but you can help.
Well, you would be amazed that the claims processors, they get a bonus based on how many claims that they process off their desk. But it doesn't matter if they're approved or denied, as long as they get them processed, they get a bonus if they meet their quota. So if they stamp them denied and shuffle them on, they actually get a bonus for meeting their quota for how many files they get off their desk.
Wow.
Well, and I can tell you that there have been several occasions when Congressman John Yarmouth has had to get involved, and he's actually got a veterans advocate on his staff, other congressmen, senators, because of the amount of paperwork. Having an attorney working for an individual who's trying to make a disability claim would be a huge advantage in this giant bureaucracy.
Well, there are some, in their stages, different levels of the claim process that you have to go through, and you know, to go before the Board of Veterans Appeals, you have to be an attorney. There are local veterans organizations that do a wonderful job trying to help veterans, like the American Legion. They have which I'm a member of. They have people who really try to help, but at certain level, it's my opinion that you really need the expertise or the skills of an attorney.
Absolutely.
To develop the claim from the medical proof side and an advocacy side before a hearing judge.
No question. Karl, during the summer months, there are a tremendous number of things that go on that could require an attorney's help. Several of the things that have happened recently: boating accidents, drownings, car accidents, alcohol-involved accidents, And you are really the first call for all of those particular incidents. We've had a couple of incidents at Deem Lake recently. And I'm kind of curious about what the responsibility of the state of Indiana is for providing lifeguards to an unlifeguarded lake when we've had 2 drownings there.
That's a good point.
Well, the state comes in a whole different set of laws when you're dealing with the state. For example, the state of Indiana versus, let's say, it's a private pool or a country club pool that's not a government entity, it's a private entity.
Yes.
Those are 2 totally different standards of care that are owed.
Right.
And, so certainly a lake, obviously they can't monitor, they can't lifeguard the whole lake. They do have, responsive, people to respond, but I think, and it's been years since I've been out to Deems Lake. I think they do have a little area that is designated as swimming area.
They do have a roped-off swimming area. Yeah.
So, so when you're dealing with government entities, it's a whole different standard of what is their duty and what is their obligation. There's so many government immunities, and there's more being passed in law every day as far as what the government can be immune from.
Absolutely.
Interesting. What they can
Scary.
be immune from.
Scary,
All right,
of course.
222-2222, new number, and
I love that.
trumanlaw.com. I really appreciate your website. There's a lot of question and answers, right off the bat already on the website. Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm working on trying to improve my website, trying to, because obviously we all know that how the internet is becoming much more involved.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to make it much more user-friendly. Also on Facebook,
Yes.
with my personal page, but also my Truman Law Office page is
Cool.
on Facebook too. So we're trying to do a lot
There
more of
you
that
go.
to be
Find Karl.
involved.
Yeah, you can buy his books as well, and we would love to bring them to you. Karl Truman, Count on the Colonel.
Count on